On a dreadfully rainy night, at the gates of the Black Death sect, a single man stands, drenched from top to bottom. As lightning strikes, the hundreds of Black Death sect members reveal themselves, and one of them screams out, "The nameless swordsman is here. He is here." They all charge in, from above and below, but the swordsman swiftly reacts, pulling out his blade and cutting through the first that were charging, leaving them limbless. The others stop to encircle him, but with one silent dash, he cuts the heads off one side, before landing at another and charging through them. A bulkier man than most charges at him from behind with his spear, thinking that he finally got him, but the swordsman needn't even look at him, as he dashes through his very essence and splits his cranium in half, revealing his brain. The rain covers the sound of screams and wails, and eventually, the swordsman is done. Only death lies on the ground. Further into the sect, the Black Death Master awaits him, an old man, wiser than most. The nameless swordsman approaches him silently, the old man looking at him sternly as he says nothing. He wonders if he is a swordsman of justice, as he is described, but why is he wrapped up that tightly? The nameless swordsman says he was never about justice. It confuses the man. Why did he hunt and kill even the last remnants of the unorthodox faction? The nameless swordsman reveals his true colors. He is no righteous swordsman, but a demon made flesh. The Death Sect leader laughs. He must admit, he has deceived everyone well. The nameless swordsman notes he deceived nobody. They simply believed what they wanted and he let them. The old man finds him quite interesting. Even if he must cross the river of death, he won't leave with any regrets. He should be wasting his time. Whether he is a nameless swordsman or not, he is here to do one job: kill him. The nameless swordsman pulses a violent red, as the old man's blade glows a more stable blue, and as soon as another drop of water falls on the ground between them, they charge at each other. The rain becomes more violent because of the wind, and as it continues pouring, the nameless swordsman is the only one leaving the once great Black Death sect. Some time passes, and in a mountain where the blossoms fall year-round, where blood has been spilt, a combination of a bunch of sects has gathered at the gates of another sect. One of them wonders if this is truly the Manhwa sect. The monk begins to pray for their souls, and another believes that this is the work of a demon who dared to drench this beautiful mountain in blood. That's when they see someone approaching them. It's a member of the Manhwa sect, his blade broken, his clothes in tatters, claiming that the sect was wiped out. The people are glad to see him, but before he says the next part, they are wiped out by just one man. Suddenly, the last member of the Hua sect is annihilated, his hands and feet flying in the air, the blast creating enough force to blind the others. One of them demands that the attacker show himself at once, and he does so slowly. He recognizes every sect here: the Shaolin, Wudang, Qingcheng, and Namgung. They have gathered in quite a crowd, it seems. The Wudang leader demands silence, and also to know his identity, and why he has committed such a grave sin. The nameless swordsman came here because people said Mount Hua was the strongest sect there was, but well, that turned out to be just rumors. The other sect leaders recognize the head of the Mount Hua sect, and the swordsman guesses that since they all came together, they must be at least stronger than the Mount Hua sect, right? The Wudang leader tells him to shut it. Here and now, they will drag his soul to hell, and the souls of Mount Hua will find their rest after his death. They all charge in, using different advanced techniques, but the swordsman just smiles. As this place really is fun. It turns out this is just a man playing a VR game. He takes it off shortly though, as it seems that an attack from that many people is still too much after all. He is playing Murim online, a recently developed virtual reality game, known for its gore and extreme violence. And though it's flooded with complaints, demanding it be shut down, there's no other game like it. He turns on the TV, thinking that he has to be more discreet next time. The news blares about one Mr. No of Data Corporation having gone missing since morning, and as the man thinks, he hears a cry for help, a pleading. He completely forgot that he had guests. He picks up the sledgehammer that was by his side, and the one who was crying, Mr. No himself, pleads to be helped. The man asks if he really wants his help, and No doesn't know why he kidnapped him, but he really did nothing. The man drops a bunch of pictures down next to him, revealing that he is a piece of trash who is irredeemable. If he really did nothing wrong, then he wouldn't have been here. No says that he's repenting, so why is he not sparing him? The man grabs his head, as this phrase he keeps repeating, is it not getting a little old at this point? As he raises his sledgehammer to finish him, No charges at him, pushing him away before getting out of his restraints. He picks up the sledgehammer and says that he's as good as dead, making the man smile, just like he does in the game. No charges in, but he dodges and strikes his side with so much force that it almost sends him hurling. But he's not done yet. he kicks his face in, causing the fat ass to land on his back. He tries to crawl away toward the door, not wanting to die despite all the suffering that he caused. Most humans act like herbivores, and among the carnivore majority, they attack, hunt, and devour those weaker than themselves. As for him, well, he is the apex, the one who hunts those carnivores. No completely freaks out, demanding that he not come closer, that he stay away. Suddenly, the door bursts open, and an entire army of policemen charges in, demanding he freeze. The main detective calls out Bongsu and explains that, on suspicion of kidnapping, false imprisonment, and murder, he is now under arrest. Bongsu wonders how the cops found this place, and the detective tells him to freeze, as these are live rounds in his gun. Looking at this situation, Bongsu thinks it's similar to the one in the game. He asks if he's aware that this man killed a total of 6 women, tortured them, took pictures while doing it, and then killed them. The corpses behind him are all the same, most of them murderers, or worse. These men are with less than animals. They are carnivores that hunt people for sport, and he is the one who hunts them. Does he not get it? The one he should be shooting isn't him, but this fat bastard behind him. The detective wonders what he should do then, because all he sees now is a psycho who kidnaps and kills people. Bongsu laughs. He thought talking to a cop wouldn't amount to anything, and he was right. He suddenly swings his sledgehammer backwards, and the detective demands he stop, but Bongsu completely shatters No's head just as the detective shoots. Bongsu knows he's dead, but if he gets another chance at life, he hopes it's filled with beasts he can kill as much as he wants. A place like that Murim game. As the bullet penetrates his skull, Bongsu's entire being recalls his memories, his dying wish, and suddenly, he wakes up shocked, as he was definitely shot. An older, plainly dressed man is over him. He was certain he died, but he's alive? Bongsu just looks at him, causing the fat man to grab him and ask if he knows what a pain it was to drag his ass here from the marketplace. Maybe he should really kill him, but well, he will let him live until tomorrow. Bongsu's instincts kick in. He picks up a rock and tries to go over to the fat man, but his entire body aches, like one giant nerve. As he falls, he sees his arm, and feeling himself, he realizes that this body is not his. He wonders what these gashes on him are, but as he looks outside, he realizes what this place is. The name. It was Murim, wasn't it? Bongsu puts his hand on his face and looks at the ground, ecstatic to the point of tears. His dying wish, it came true. He has been transported to the world of Murim, where only the strongest survive. Before all of this, the original owner of this body, Sosam, was just a farm boy. That day, one Machil came bursting in, noting that he had a job for him to do, while also noting that it smells here. Sosam told him that he was not done cleaning the stables yet, causing the man to grab his mouth and wonder if it seemed like he was asking. Just because the Donri clan is housing and feeding a stuttering orphan like him, he seems to constantly be forgetting his place. He is merely a slave, and nothing else. After that, Sosam went with the fat old man, Dong-o, with the merchant thinking that it would be Machil who would come. The fat man noted that he was like that sometimes. Machil is at the Phoenix Tavern with that scamp of his, having a drink, or perhaps more. The merchant didn't care either way, but wondered if it wouldn't be tough to carry all of this in only 2 people. Dong-o laughed, as right here, he has a perfectly good carry horse to use. Sosam coughed as he tried to recover from the punch, and Dong-o asked what he was doing. He should get to carrying those weapons. That's when Dong-o also realized he had plans at the tavern, so unfortunately, he will have to do all of the heavy lifting today, so he should work hard. The merchant pitied Sosam, but there was nothing he nor Sosam could do. With that, he got to work on himself, carrying all of the blades in a barely sewn together tarp, which eventually came apart because of the blades, forcing Sosam to carry it like a dog. The merchant congratulated him, but he should really be resting now, as he looks like someone who is on the verge of death. Sosam, who was completely exhausted, both physically and mentally, said he was fine. As he walked, he wondered if he truly wanted to continue this pathetic life of his. Unfortunately, he accidentally bumped into a larger man, and before he could even apologize, the man punched him squarely in the face and began beating him down. Sosam, in his last moments, wondered where it all went wrong. Was it when his family died in the typhoon, and he was the only survivor? Was it when he knocked on Danri's family gates just to survive? Perhaps it all went wrong the moment he was even born in a place like this. Bongsu wakes up, body still sore from the beating, and makes his way toward the water the horses were drinking. So Sosam was the name of this kid. He had a really shitly life. This seems to be the stable from those memories. In that case, Sosam really got beaten to death back then, and he has entered his body. Besides that though, He should be focused on this thing next to him, the status window from Murim Online. As he walks with a bowl of gruel in his hand, Ma-chil wonders why he's the one who has to do work like this. Is he the only one in the entire clan who can clean up that bastard's mess? It's his fault, as he should have gone straight to the stables after work, and not walk around foolishly. It was just his luck to run into Peng Dorong, a guy famous for his rotten temper and violent nature. He damns his fate for having to clean up after such a pathetic little worm. He, the great Ma-chil. Perhaps should he just kill him for real? But no, that's too risky. If he gets caught, it will be his head on the chopping block. He kicks the stable doors open and throws the gruel at So-sam's feet, asking why he had to survive and cause him so much trouble. Bongsu smiles. It has been 2 weeks since he has awoken into this place. In that time, he gathered the following information about this guy and the outside world. First, the people here use Chinese characters, but this is not China. That is because of martial arts, which are fantastical techniques, once thought possible only through fantasy. People flying around on blades and moving faster than light itself. That is what these people are training for. In this world, the martial arts of fantasy are real and breathing. It's like a real-life version of Murim Online. Secondly, he has this status window and system. What's certain is that this Murim Online status window actually works, and it appears that only he can see it. At first, because of this window and the existence of martial arts, he thought he was still inside of the game, but this is an undeniably real place. The people of this world have their own emotions, and they move as if they are alive, like any living organism would. This brings a question though. Is he a human or a player? As he closes the status window, Dong-o comes, noting that it seems he is living the good life here, while some of them got a major chewing out and even got punishment because of a certain idiot. He's been waiting for this, hasn't he? Suddenly, Bongsu rises to his feet and finishes the remaining gruel he had in his bowl. Dong-o believes this is disrespect, but as he goes to slap him, Bongsu breaks the bowl, creating a sharp shard that he lodges directly into the fat bastard's neck. He has claimed his first kill in this world, and tells him that the kid he once knew, a pathetic worm, died long ago. Dong-o tries to resist, but Bongsu just raises the shard in his other hand and begins to cut into his flesh again and again, making his pig blood spray out again and again widely, creating a shower of red. Bongsu feels the warm sensation on his skin. It does not matter if he is a human or a player at this point, just as he thought. This place is reality, the great law of this world. Something he felt from this bastard and Ma-chil is that the weak are prey of the strong, and the strong are revered. If it is a place like this, he can hunt to his heart's content without having to hide his true nature. There are people like him, no, even more monstrous than him, that are surely roaming this jungle they call a society. As soon as this body recovers, he will continue the hunt. In here, the land of the strong and the weak. In here, in this new Murim, he will start a new life. As Dong-o's body rots in the dirty stables, Bongsu looks at it without much emotion in his eyes. Usually a guy like him would not even be worth hunting, but there is one thing that he needed to confirm. He opens up his inventory, but it feels different. The inventory in the game was a slot-based system, with one item per slot. But this one is just a large, open space, it seems. He puts his hand through it, and feels just how massive it is. A couple of 100 square meters, perhaps? He looks at Dong-o's body, and remembers how it worked in the game. He puts his hand over the pig's face and thinks of storing it in the inventory, making his body immediately disappear inside, along with all of his blood. This is an incredibly useful ability. He can surely use this. But if he can store a body, can living things go in too? And if they can, will they still be alive? Well, he will have to experiment just a bit more, it seems. As night turns to day, Bongsu continues his duties, trying to play his part, and he sees how the people here are walking, their mouths clean, but their words betray only lies and unnecessary thoughts. He feels someone come from behind, but doesn't react. Ma-chil slaps him across the head, having heard that he'd become mute. Bongsu plays it off, and Ma-chil tells him to stop slacking and go take that horse for a walk. Bongsu bows, still faking that he is mute, and Ma-chil wonders what he's supposed to do with a guy that can't even speak properly anymore. As Bongsu walks around the market with the horse, he analyzes everyone, how they dress, how they walk and talk. But suddenly, he sees something in particular standing out in a corner of stand. It's a bunch of children, with one of them throwing a rock at his head. They begin calling him Stupid So-sam, having heard that he can't speak anymore. But suddenly Bongsu lets out his aura, making even the horse uncomfortable. One of the kids rubs his eyes, thinking he isn't seeing right, and Bongsu turns right back to the Stupid So-sam. Seeing him walk away, they continue to pelt him with rocks, not knowing the demon they are trifling with. A while later, Ma Chil lets out a heavy sigh, as someone like him shouldn't be stuck cleaning weapons. He is a great warrior after all. That bastard Dong-O hasn't shown up in days either. Just where has he gone? Probably dead in a ditch, as he always started something with someone. As he goes to open the door to the armory, he sees So-sam get out of it, wondering what the hell he was doing inside. Just by taking a peek, he sees that the armory, blades included, is all spotless. Did he really do all his work? Bongsu bows his head in agreement, and Ma Chil thinks that after the near-death experience, this bastard changed completely. He's working hard, and even doing things he wasn't asked to do. Perhaps he finally become a proper human. Bongsu pulls out a pouch with gold coins and gives it to Ma Chil, who begins laughing hard, as he finally learned how the world works. He pats him on the back, telling him to keep up the good work, and walks away hiddly. Bongsu can't help but smile, as he doesn't even realize that the pouch is his fare for the afterlife. Ma Chil walks happily across, instead of bowing his head every day. One also needs to know how to be flexible like this. Since his pockets are full today, instead of Eng, he will go see that other feisty vixen he's been hearing so much about, Chozian. He makes his way to the Phoenix Tavern, where the doorman greets him warmly, not expecting to see him again today. Ma Chil immediately tells him to get Chozian, and the doorman wants to get him Eng at first. But then here's what he says, and he is rather shocked by his request. The doorman doesn't know what to do, and in response, Ma Chil shows him the money, which makes the doorman immediately note that if he waits in the room at the end of the second floor, his choice will be there right away. Ma Chil waits impatiently for Chozian to arrive, and eventually she does, making him think that Eng cannot even compare to her beauty. She crouches down and pours him a drink, and as he enjoys her company, a familiar eye appears in the cracks of the walls. It seems that somehow, Bongsu has made his way into the walls themselves. As Ma Chil left, the doorman thought that he just had to pick a girl that is young enough to be his daughter. But well, money is money after all. Suddenly another customer came, whom he recognized as So-sam. He heard he was mute too, but does he even know where he is? He tells him to get lost. But suddenly, Bongsu produced a bag of coins and asked for Eng. Seeing that the money he produced is real, he tells him to wait in a room, as he will bring her right away. Unfortunately for him, Bongsu is not here for those kinds of affairs. As Ma Chil dresses up, he looks at the exhausted Chozian and thinks that he still has it. But that's when Bongsu's hands make their way around his neck, and using his tied bandages, he begins to choke him out. He tries to fight back, pushing downward as hard as he can, and he does fall on Bongsu, but he continues choking him. The thrill of the kill, the sound of Ma Chil's breath leaving him entirely giving him more pleasure than any woman ever could. After he is done, he looks at Choseon, who is still fast asleep. He gets up and looms over her, looking at her fair complexion and the situation she's in. He sees that she's an herbivore. She has neither the will nor the strength to protect herself. He goes to a nearby wall, and using a store in his inventory, opens up the partition there, allowing him to move freely between rooms. It's a good thing he practiced this, as it will be a great help in his future hunts. He opens up his status window, and just as he expected, he has gained a few experience points. It seems that killing people is what gives him this, and with enough experience points, he can level up, which will make him stronger, and being stronger will make it much easier to hunt. If hunting becomes easier, he can get experience faster, meaning that in this world, he can become infinitely strong. Truly, what wonderful gift he has been given. After relishing in his situation, he looks down at Ma Chil and puts him in a portrait, thinking that it's a real shame there are no cameras here. Outside of the rooms, Eng finally arrives, tired from all the running she did to get here. The doorman asks what took her so long. She should hurry up and go inside. The customer may be mute, but his money sure as hell isn't. She immediately does so, apologizing for making him wait so little. And now the doorman moves on to more pressing matters, as Ma Chil hasn't come outside yet. Are they trying for a child in there? He clears his throat and gently knocks on the door, noting that a lot of time has passed, so they should both come out, as they need some rest. Seeing that nobody is answering, the doorman thinks that they are willingly ignoring him, and just as he is about to storm in, angry as all hell, he hears a blood-curdling scream coming from inside. He opens the door immediately, seeing Choseon in a state of shock, and above her, something that makes him fall on his fat ass, the lifeless body of Ma Chil, whose corpse has been strung up. Anhui is in the north, where the Huai River flows, and in the center, the Yangtze River flows, forming an expansive plain. This land has been known since ancient times for its rich, fertile soil and the intersections it had with many lakes and rivers, which allowed commerce and trade to bloom. Where money gathers, though, thieves and ruffians are bound to appear just the same. As hordes of bandits and villains from the unorthodox faction ran rampant, many rose to defeat them, and many clans and sects dedicated to upholding the code of the Murim were established in Anhui. Among them, the most prominent clans were the Namgung clan, one of the 5 great clans of the Central Plains, and the great sect in Anhui, and the Donri clan, although it can't be compared to them, has the family's specialized fighting force, the Cross Heaven Sword Division, and with its intelligence and law-enforcing group, the Black Crow Squad. Its reputation became well known throughout all of Anhui. The Black Crow Squad's information-gathering abilities, in particular, are so formidable that even the Beggar sect, which would be offended to be called second best when it comes to that, has no other option but to concede that the Black Crow Squad is superior in that aspect. Recently, however, that very Black Crow Squad has been struggling with a new case. The leader, Gidaihyo, is informed of another self-inflicted death. Over the past month, nearly 100 people have died like this. There have always been people who have had enough of life, but it was 1 or 2 per month, and even then, never this many. What is the strangest thing of all is how perfect the cases are. The evidence and circumstances of every single case perfectly point to self-death. But is that truly possible? He asks his assistant who was first to die like this, and he explains it was some armory artisan from the clan, a man who went by the name Ma Chil. Daihyo asks if he means the Danri clan, and the assistant confirms as such, causing the leader to stroke his beard as he asks where he ended his life, and the assistant notes it was at an inn, the Phoenix Tavern. With that, Daihyo rises and notes that they should go, but the assistant believes there's no reason for the squad leader himself to go there. Daihyo knows he has to see it for himself, and after they arrive, the doorman takes them to the room where it all transpired. He explains that Choseon found Ma-Chil hanging from the rafters, just after she was done with him. Daihyo wonders, if all of these deaths are actually an elaborate string of murders, how did the culprit get into this room and kill this man? He opens the door and searches every nook and cranny, but there's no way for a culprit to enter unseen. However, he knows how these places are built. If these logs that act as walls are removed, it would provide a free passage. The problem is that they have never been removed. He asks the doorman if there is any way to remove these logs without removing the roof, and he immediately denies such claims. These logs are set in grooves in the ceiling and floor beams. It's impossible to pull them out without ripping them apart or taking out the beams first. Daihyo is beginning to doubt if this was really murder, and asks if there was anyone in the room next door to them. The doorman confirms as such that the guest probably arrived around the same time as Ma-Chil. It was Sosam, of the Danri clan. As Bongsu walks around with the horse, he looks at his stats. The experience points he gained from the man he killed the other day were greater than the ones he killed before. That man must have been a martial artist then. It seems that killing someone stronger yields greater amounts of experience points. However, if he fights a proper martial artist now, he will definitely lose. Even the weakest warrior is much stronger than his, so he needs prey that can bridge the gap between commoner and martial artist, like the bastard he killed the other day. As he walks, someone calls out his name, noting that he has gotten a lot more handsome since the last time they met, but he should be greeting his elders properly when he meets them. As they wonder if he's ignoring them, Bongsu asks if these are street thugs, but no matter how much of a loser Sosam was, he is still a member of the clan. Did he really live this life, getting pushed around like useless scum like this? Suddenly, one of the bandits pulls him by the hair, as they need to have a little private conversation. As he is getting pulled, Bongsu wonders if he could kill them here, and make it look like suicide. If he puts the bodies in his inventory and dumps them elsewhere, perhaps then, but no. If he makes a scene, there's a risk of being discovered. It's not like he will get much experience from doing that anyway, so he will take a beating and get rid of them later. Just as the bandit is about to pummel him for getting so plump and pretty, someone comes from behind and tells them to stop, as he did tell them to bring him in nicely. Did they not? The bandits immediately fear the sight of Jang Ho, who goes to Bongsu's horse and notes that it's quite a fine beast. Their dark society leader is a man who is crazy about horses, so he was thinking of presenting this horse as a gift. What does he think? Seeing his blatant killing intent, Bongsu guesses his goal is to kill him and take the horse. Unfortunately for him, he chose the wrong person to consider prey. Jang Ho closes in on him, noting that even with him thinking about it for so long, he does not ask for anything twice. Bongsu asks why he doesn't just kill him then, and as the bandits are surprised by his talking, Bongsu puts his hand in front and activates inventory, causing a blade to come out and stick into Jang Ho's neck without him being able to do anything. Suddenly, the scene explodes with a violent energy, as Bongsu has leveled up. He begins approaching the bandits, his aura having increased 100-fold. and the bandits know they have no chance of running, so they will all charge at this demon and kill him. Unfortunately, it doesn't take long for the last bandit to run away in fear throughout the alley, wondering what the hell that thing even is. Just as he's about to reach the street, his foot flies off, but he cannot die here. Like a total loser, a human money printer, they would all laugh at him and beat him up as he handed over the cash. He was just trying to do a favor and make some easy money. Bongsu kicks him unconscious and begins dragging him back in the dark alley, where the sun and the good of the world never shine. Eventually, the man wakes up with a loud gasp, asking why the demon is here. He knows he messed up by saying that, and Bongsu puts a blade to his neck, asking who the guy who got cocky was. The bandit asks if he's talking about Jang Ho, and Bongsu confirms as such. He said he was from somewhere. The bandit confirms that he's from the Black Society. They are one of the evil sects that rule the black alleys of Bongyang. Jang Ho was an executive in that place. Bongsu understands, but he mentioned a leader, didn't he? The bandit rapidly explains that the leader of the Black Society is called Bang Po Yom. It was that bastard who ordered Jang Ho to kill him and steal his horse. Bongsu understands that these wicked sects and the Black Society have a hierarchy and a boss. It's basically like the organized crime syndicates of this world. Bongsu tells him he did a good thing, but if he continues telling him everything he knows about the wicked sects and Black Society, he might just let him live. The bandit is very glad to hear this, but naturally, after explaining everything, Bongsu kills him and puts him in the inventory. That was the last of them, so he sits down to analyze all of the important information he learned today. The wicked sects, he was looking for some leveling fodder somewhere between commoner and martial artist, and he just happened to stumble on the perfect targets. From now on, he will be preparing to hunt these guys. He also leveled up, and with that, his old injuries are completely gone. Even the scars on his hands and body vanished. Would this even work if his heart or brain were damaged, perhaps? If he is close to leveling up, he could probably afford to take some risks, just to test it out. And then, there was that light, the light that filled the entire alley during his level up. That is a downside, as it's flashy, and it's likely to attract unwanted attention. He needs to hide it, along with the inventory he used to kill. A hunter hiding among his prey must appear ordinary. When one loses most like everyone else, that is when they become the ultimate hunter. He should only level up once the hunt is finished. He picks up the reins of the horse and walks out of the alley, thinking that if Jang Ho had been more cautious or stronger, he would have been in trouble. It seems that his mute camouflage isn't going to be enough anymore. He must get stronger fast, without anyone knowing, by killing more powerful beasts. Just as he is done thinking that, Daehyo puts a hand on his shoulder and asks if he is the one who killed Ma Chil, immediately imbuing his hand with chi. Just before this, Bongsu encountered a critical system error. Proceeding with the game will be difficult, but possible. He got it just after reaching level 2. In fact, the cause is probably him. He should not really exist in this world, yet the game system is running alongside him. This friction was bound to cause some kind of issue. But then again, isn't the fact that he's here the ultimate error? Since he had no reason to dwell on it, he closed that tab and went to the main interface, where he saw that the stats, which were once just question marks, were now gauge bars. Perhaps it's another error, or maybe it's because reality can't be quantified like a game. He opens the skill tab, revealing all of the skills, like slash, thrust, block, and strike. Common passive skills granted to every player upon creating a character. But what about this spirit eye skill? He has never seen it before, and there's no separate description either. Just what could it be? Suddenly he met the activation conditions, because an enemy at least 10 levels higher than him has approached within 20 meters, and those meters keep going down. Bongsu recognizes that it's some kind of early warning system, so he got up, thinking that they shouldn't be enemies. There aren't many people brave enough to break into the Danri clan, and even if they did, an intruder would not be moving so slowly. This means that the person approaching him must be a master from within the clan. He doesn't know how big a 10-level gap is, but considering the amount of work he had to put in for level 2, the difference must be massive. How many civilians does he have to kill to reach that level? Thousands. Tens of thousands, maybe. The person approaching him was as strong as all of those souls combined, and among the clan, the most likely candidate. He knows who it is. Daehyo burst through the door without even knocking, and Bongsu immediately acted confused. That's when Daehyo put his hand on his shoulder. Bongsu acts the fool, but Daehyo still rushed ki through his entire body, feeling his very soul, but his martial arts were empty. He lets go, sighing as he turns to leave. As they do leave, Bongsu looks at them with killing intent, having attained a new target he will one day take the life of. Daehyo's assistant asks why they suddenly left without doing a proper interrogation. Was he not suspicious of that boy? Daehyo was, That's why he infused qi into his body to check his pulse. If he had practiced even the most basic martial arts, there would have definitely been a trace of it at least. However, he was empty. Not a single drop of internal energy was in him, and he was just an ordinary kid who had never touched a martial art. He begins to wonder if those people truly were not murdered and really did it to themselves. If this really is a plague, how many lives must it claim before this comes to an end? On this night when the moon shone brighter than ever, and contrary to what Daihyo feared, the suicide plague had vanished from this city, and instead, a new kind of slaughter began to permeate throughout the city. On another of these moody nights, where the rain falls mellowly, inside a tavern, two friends talk over a drink, one of them asking if he's heard the news. The other friend asks if he's talking about the nameless hero, as everyone is talking about him these days. The first friend notes that it's Lord Nameless Hero. That man is busy slaughtering all those wicked sects. The other friend tells him to keep his voice down, or someone will hear him, but the first friend doesn't care. Half of those high and mighty wicked sects, like the White Tiger Hall and Red Wolf Clan, have been wiped out. The other friend tells him that there's still one left, the Black Society, and if they hear him, it won't end well. The first friend notes that their time is coming soon too. Their great nameless hero is going to smash them into pieces. Bongsu walks out of this tavern, having heard the ramblings of this drunken man, but it does not matter to him. He makes his way through the gloomy night, right in front of his next slaughter. The guard positioned at the gate is having a bit of a snooze, but his supervisor silently approaches and knocks him on the back of the head, asking if he really is sleeping. He should get it together, as he doesn't know the nameless hero is on a rampage as they speak. He's already wiped out 3 of their rival sects. They are the only ones left. Hearing him not answering, the supervisor gets mad and goes for another slap, but the guard is already beheaded, his blood painting the wet ground. The supervisor sheepishly tries to draw out his blade, but he knows that it's too late, and his head slowly falls to the same level as the guard he just berated. Bongsu looks at them for a bit before opening the gates, walking in without worry. Suddenly though, a flurry of arrows appears, and he dodges, seeing that the entire sect is waiting for him. One of them notes that they knew he should show up in the night, just like the rat he is. They all stand still for a moment, even the rain seemingly stopping as both sides prepare to strike. As soon as it thunders again, the sect attacks all at once, jumping on Bongsu from all sides, but his blade suddenly becomes as red as the blood of his enemies. As he activates the sweeping of 1,000 armies, he unleashes a slash so wide that he takes down a few dozen men at once, before continuing his rampage through their ranks. The warriors look back at one of their stronger warriors for support, who charges in with his mighty spear, vowing to take his head. But Bongsu grabs a lower-ranked warrior and smashes him into the higher-ranked one, before piercing both of them with his thundering blade. Seeing him focused on unleashing as much pain as possible, a mighty warrior comes from behind, charging in with another spear, but Bongsu just looks at him, not even removing his blade as he uses inventory, cutting the man's cranium in 2. As Bongsu is distracted by watching this man die, another comes and actually manages to pierce him, making Bongsu fall back on the ground. He finally got a hit on him. He was carving up his boys like he was carving through bread, so he thought he was some kind of malevolent beast. But after all, he is just a human, isn't he? A human whom they can kill, as they have done thousands of times. Instead of despairing or pleading for help, Bongsu removes the sword fragment stuck in him, and also takes off his hat. The leader is confused now, and a little afraid, as he shouldn't be laughing. Bongsu charges in with much more fervor than before, as things become much more fun when his life is on the line. As the screaming slowly but surely dies down, one of the weaker, cowardly warriors who is outside of the sect wonders if they are all going to die to just one guy. They were just shaking some people down for change, did a bit of human trafficking, sold some girls and booze, and only killed people that were considered less than by everyone. He damns it all. There are so many people worse than them in this world, but why did this happen to them? Just because the others are strong and they are easy targets? He knows that he has to kill him right here and now. This back path he's hiding in, it leads directly to the leader's estate, the Paradise Manor. All they have to do now is wait for him, as they have the advantage in the dark. As soon as they see someone appear from the sect, he screams out to fire, and hundreds of arrows fly in the direction of what they saw. They wonder if he really is dead, but suddenly, all of the shooters behind the cowardly man die immediately, one after another, painting the floors with blood. Seeing this, his body subconsciously draws his blade, and asks if he's the nameless hero. Just what does he want from them? What did they do to him that was so wrong? Bongsu doesn't answer. Instead, he just looks at him just as a wolf would look at a lamb. The man can barely let out a few more words as Bongsu cuts off his head. After all, the only thing he yearns for is their lives. He has left the entire sect in shatters. Their bodies are the only thing remaining, and the leader of the Black Snake sect, Bang Po Yom. First, he went after the White Tiger unit. While he did level up thanks to killing Jang Ho, he was still weak compared to the Black faction members, so he decided to lure, ambush, and even set them on fire. Those were just a few methods he preferred. By the time the White Tiger unity leader became alarmed by the situation, more than half of his men were already dead. In the process, the officials and townspeople gave him and his killing spree the title of the Nameless Righteous Swordsman. After obtaining this new mask in the shape of a title, it became even easier to dispose of the unorthodox factions. When he killed the White Tiger unit leader, he reached level 5, and also gained his first active skill, Qinggong, and the Three Forces sword art. He was very happy, as finally he was able to face the Black faction members in a confrontation. Around the same time, children started playing games mimicking the Nameless Righteous Swordsman, and the Red Wolf Gate was erased from this world too. The only unorthodox faction still standing in Bongyang was the Black Society. The Black Society leader sits in his estate, having heard all of the commotion, but he refuses to get up. Bongsu appears in front of him just as thunder strikes, and he asks if he's the Nameless Swordsman who slaughtered his men. Bongsu says nothing, and Yom notes that for a swordsman of justice, he is wrapped pretty tightly, isn't he? Bongsu tells him he isn't one, making Yom wonder, why did he hunt and kill the unorthodox factions then? However, seeing his expression, that of a true hunter, he laughs, as he really deceived all of them. Bongsu states that he deceived nobody. They simply believed what they wanted to. Yom slowly picks up his blade and notes that he is the most interesting man he has met. Even if he has to cross the river of death today, he will not leave with many regrets. What is he waiting for then? Righteous swordsman or not, he has still come here to kill him all the same. Yom's wise and cultivated blue aura and Bongsu's wild and murderous aura clash, and as a drop of rain falls between them, they both charge in, clashing their blades with much fervor. Bongsu tries to push through, but Yom's wise technique allows him to give him a shallow cut, before Bongsu takes control again and puts his blade to the ground. However, Yom sees this as an opening. He swings widely. Bongsu thinks that the blade is too short and won't reach, but he is actually struck, forcing him to twist his body around and fall back, so that his arm doesn't get completely cut off. Even so, his wound bleeds a lot more than any normal wound would, and as Yom previously thought, his body is not in perfect condition. He rushes in again, clashing his blade in Bongsu's with increased confidence, who notices that he's only targeting his injuries. At this rate, he will definitely lose. So even if he has to sacrifice his flesh, he has to win. Yom sees him thinking, and asks what is riddling his mind in the midst of this fight, and Bongsu rushes in with the Three Forces sword art. But this is exactly what Yom was waiting for all this time. He suddenly reveals a whip sword that completely encircles Bongsu's hand, and before he can react, cuts it off. That seems to have been quite effective. Indeed, it's his first time facing a whip, isn't it? Bongsu, however, doesn't give up. He kicks Yom in the gut using Qinggong, making the old man crash into his home. Unfortunately, this isn't over, as right in front of Bongsu's eyes, thousands of snakes appear in the air, combining into something of incredible proportions, a serpent made entirely of qi. Yom cannot lie. He finds it peculiar, as he does not hesitate to use his own body as bait. That is not the way of a martial artist. Not at all. It is the way of an assassin, or a hunter. Does he know, in a life or death situation with a martial artist, that the more one has hidden, the more advantageous one is? He had more hidden, and he has way less. That is why he will now lose. Bongsu readies his blade, but Yom knows he has no other moves left, and begins swinging his whip around, making it crash into the air like the thunder from before. Bongsu doesn't react, instead choosing to remain as steady as he can be, and Yom tells him that he can die, and with him, the legend of the nameless hero. Before the snake can crash down on him, Bongsu rushes in with a blinding kick, creating a mountain of dust to block Yom's vision, but he thinks it's futile. As he swings his mighty whip around and manages to hit something. Thinking he got his enemy, he laughs, but he soon realizes that he actually hit one of his own members, who was a decoy. But where is the real one? Bongsu is higher in the air, and he prepares to unleash the Three Forces sword at the second form. Yom notices far too late, and Bongsu thrusts forwards with amazing speed, but even so, Yom manages to block some of the strike by sacrificing his right hand. As he screams, Bongsu is surprised that he managed to block the blade in just a split second. He knew he was going for his heart. Yom screams out, as this is not over yet, and rushes his whip right in front of him, forcing Bongsu to pull his blade out. Yom, however, does not let him. He grabs his blade as tightly as he can. Bongsu, however, uses his inventory and unleashes a torrent of bodies around Yom's blade, blocking its impending approach. As he falls on his knees, Yom thinks that he did not expect to see such a thing. Does this mean that he's not out of things to show him yet? Unfortunately, Bongsu is nowhere to be seen, only the corpses of those he used to lead. He swings his whip around in frustration, creating a tornado of blades as he screams out that he is a true lunatic for using corpses in a fight. Suddenly, an arrow flies towards him, and Yom barely has time to dodge it, but he continues screaming out, telling him to stop with the dirty tricks and face him. Suddenly, another arrow appears from behind, which manages to cut his skin. He begins to finally understand the situation he is in. He is just the prey here. He, the great Bang Yom, seeing something suddenly move in the dead of night, he swings wildly, managing to hit the shadow, but he realizes immediately that this was just another corpse. He lets out one final scream of frustration as Bongsu's blade rips his heart in half, his comrade screaming his name from hell. After Bongsu pulls his blade out, Yom notes that he finally achieved his objective. He finally killed every Black Society member in Bongyang. But just why? Bongsu asks if he needs a reason for such a simple thing. Humans have always slaughtered other humans, from when they looked like apes, all the way to this very day. Does this not apply here? The strong will always trample and steal from the weak. This time, he was simply the stronger one. After Yom's demise, the entire valley lights up as Bongsu levels up once again. He cleans his blade and thinks that with the death of every Black Society member in Bongyang, the preparations are finally complete. He will now move to the next stage, where the strong are stronger and the prey more cunning. It's time to go to the Murim's Jianghu. As lightning continues to strike the damp ground, inside a grand and ominous hall, people with covered faces stand in line, all in service of one man. His voice is raspy. He asks how long it is until the Orthodox demonic wars, and one of them answers, noting that only 2 years remain. Knowing this, the leader thinks it's about time to slowly begin the grand plan, so he calls out Guangwun and commands him to execute the first stratagem. The next day, as the sun shines brightly on the streets, Bongsu continues acting the fool, walking his horse, but he overhears 3 friends talking about the nameless swordsman, how he finally wiped out the Black Society, causing the merchants and courtesans to be in an uproar. They never thought he would actually clear them out. The first friend thinks that they should call him the nameless righteous swordsman now, since he did so much. But the third friend is not so sure about this. Even if he is a hero, is it really okay to just kill people like that? The first friend tells him to shut it and think about what those bastards have done up until now. Chewing them up alive wouldn't be punishment enough. They truly deserve to die. The second friend explains that neither the government nor those so-called Orthodox faction sects ever cared about commoners like them. In the end, the nameless swordsman was the only one to step up. The third friend finally relents. It's true, if not for him, who would stand up for them? The first friend runs out, calling out the nameless swordsman, wishing him a prosperous life for driving out the black faction. Seeing this, the 2 other friends begin to cheer with him throughout the street. And soon, everyone begins to do the exact same thing, joining in a celebratory dance. Bongsu feels nothing at this, and thinks it's finally time to leave this place. That night, as he returns to the stables, the system warns him about a high-level enemy inside. He slowly opens the stable door, seeing Daehyo, and next to him, the head of the Danri clan, the flying heavenly demon sword, Danri Qianwu. He immediately bows down, wondering why they are here, and Qianwu walks up to his horse, noting that it's about time to say goodbye to him. Bongsu watches suddenly, seeing that he's actually levitating. He notes that on the coming full moon, the second daughter of the Namgung clan head is getting married. Daehyo asks if he's sure about sending his cherished horse as a gift, but Qianwu states it's already decided. If only he could send one of his children too, he would do even more than this. Daehyo asks if it's for a marriage pledge, the 9 bows ceremony. Qianwu thought he was pretty clear. Is it not easier to cross a stream by laying down 2 logs instead of 1? Daehyo notes that the Namgung clan might not want either of them, making Qianwu realize that this is why he called him here. He doesn't care which methods he uses, but he will make it happen no matter what. After finishing his intimidation, Qianwu tells him to depart immediately tomorrow, as he has much to do. He will also take this bowing one too. He is needed to handle the horse. After the clan leader leaves, Daehyo watches as Sosam gets up and dusts his clothes, a part of him still suspicious. The next day, as Bongsu prepares for departure, he wonders what he must do to learn proper martial arts. He tried to recreate martial arts based on the movements of the family warriors and leaders, but it was nothing more than an imitation. The worst option is to learn from a secret manual, and the best option is to learn directly from a master. However, becoming the disciple of someone right away is not an easy task. He has already reached the age of 18 in this world, and he heard that it's not easy to learn martial arts at this age. However, the situation worked out well, as he now has access to the Namgung clan. As one of the 5 great clans of the Central Plains and a family with absolute power in Anhui, there will surely be a way here, along with much stronger prayer. After the entire Black Crow unit has finished assembling, Danyo is informed, and seeing Sosam there too, he asks who has not arrived yet. One of the soldiers explains that all are gathered except the young master and the young lady. Daihyo grits his teeth in anger. Ganghai is probably at some tavern with some woman, and Hui hates traveling with subordinates, so he will follow later. With that, he gives out the signal to move out, but he suddenly detects something nearby and tells everyone to stop. After a torrent of dust pops out of a tavern, Daihyo sighs heavily, as this surely is Ganghai. He is the eldest son of Qianwu, a martial arts prodigy with outstanding comprehension and talent. In terms of skill, he lacks nothing to enter the Namgung clan as an outer disciple, but unfortunately, his character is the problem. He is a frivolous fool who is fond of alcohol and women, so bad rumors will always follow him. As he goes toward that tavern, thinking that he's surely beating someone, a surrounding green energy crashes through, along with Ganghai, who is completely defeated. Bongsu's system warns him of a powerful enemy, and Ganghai tries to threaten his enemy, but he doesn't care, and strikes again. This shocks everyone, except Bongsu, who knows that this is a master, and it's one of overwhelming skill. As the master presses his heavy foot on the air, Daihyo demands he halt this instant. The master asks who he is and unleashes his aura, forcing everyone to stop in their place. Daihyo introduces himself sheepishly, and explains that the person he is currently tormenting is the young master of the Danri clan. If he does not remove his foot, he will not be able to stand idle anymore. Seeing this, Bongsu thinks they don't know who he is at all, an unknown man even to the Black Crow unit leader, who knows everything about the Anhui Murim. He is definitely a master who came from the outside. With the people they have here, they would never be able to defeat him. At least they will not die, as no lion pounces with full force just to kill a bug. The master cleans his ear and asks what the Danri clan is. Perhaps something sweet to eat. Daihyo will not take this insult to their clan, but the master truly does not know. Is this Danri clan of theirs something sweet, or perhaps something he should trample on? Daihyo has had enough. He raises his blade forward and commands his men to charge in to save their young master. The foolish men do just that, but the master does not move. He instead unleashes a flick so mighty that it crashes through everyone's mind. And as soon as he is hit, Daihyo realizes this is the soul chasing the lying butterfly. Daihyo now knows who he is, and the master is impressed that his eyes are not completely useless. The old man standing before him is none other than the soul-chasing poison hand, Tang Wu. The 20 strongest people in Murim are the 2 gods, the 3 monsters, the 5 pinnacles, and the 10 greats. The supreme master of the Sichuan Tang clan, and one of the 10 greats, is the soul-chasing poison hand, Tang Wu. For those who have offended him, when they become spirits, they cannot escape his poison, even after death. He is one of the top 20 masters of the Murim. That scoundrel of the Danri clan has caused a big incident. If he has offended someone of Tang Wu's stature, depending on the circumstances, this might be the Danri clan's end. As he wonders how this will end, a jade beauty comes out of the tavern, calling Wu grandpa, tells him to let it go. They are country folk who do not know better after all. Hearing this, Wu's expression immediately changes, and he notes that this should be enough for him to realize how vast the world is. But to think, a descendant of the Orthodox faction, drinking and causing a scene first thing in the morning. With his temper, he would want to take at least a hand, but he cannot bring himself to be so cruel. When he wakes up, they should tell him that if he keeps hitting on random women, he won't live out his natural lifespan. Daihyo, who is still awake, nods and thanks him for his mercy. With that, Wu takes out all of his poison and thinks that they should go, but suddenly, his eyes lock in on Bongsu, whose eyes are completely void of any emotion. He tells Hua to stay here a moment, and Bongsu realizes that he's coming towards him too. But why? Hua asks what he's doing, but Wu just wants to ask something of this child. Bongsu wonders what it is, and Wu asks what his name is. After not answering, Wu demands to know what his name is again, proving that he is not fooling around. Bongsu still does not answer, and Daihyo explains that he is but a horse handler who cannot speak. Wu wonders if he really is mute, and Bongsu realizes that he is evaluating him now. It's as if he's looking at something precious. If a master like him is looking at him in such a way, then this is an opportunity to finally shed the skin of Sosam the sword handler. He looks at Wu with his entire murderous aura, who grabs his hand and charges chi through it. Laughing as he does, he swiftly turns to Daehyo and asks if they are on their way to the Namgung clan. Daehyo confirms as much, and Wu asks in return what this child does. Daehyo explains he is but a sword handler managing the Fergana horse they are giving as a gift. Wu thinks it would be fine to take him then, but then Daehyo notes that nobody would be able to control that horse. Wu thinks that they just need to transport the horse to the Namgung clan. After that, he will take the child. He will speak with Namgung himself. If necessary, he will write a letter to the clan head, along with payment. Is that not sufficient? Daehyo tries to reason with him, but seeing his eyes locked on his expression, notes that they were intending to give him to the Namgung clan along with the horse, so he should take him. Wu laughs as he notes that he's pleased, and tells them to follow. Daehyo almost squishes his brain out in frustration, and tells the men to send the young master to a physician, while the rest of them will move out. Between all of them, this has truly turned into a strange situation, but one filled with opportunity. Night eventually arrives, and Daehyo finds a huge tavern for all of his men to stay at. Bongsu is naturally sent to the stables, but this is preferable. Ever since his battle with the Black Society, his use of the inventory has improved significantly. Currently, the range in which he can summon it is about a meter around him. If he practices, perhaps he could increase it further. Through this, he can retrieve weapons or corpses from his stored inventory, or fire them. However, the shooting speed is not that fast. A master would definitely be able to react. He picks up a pile of sand and puts it in his inventory before it goes on the ground, allowing him to manipulate it completely. He has gotten quite skilled at this, and there is one more way to utilize it. He swallows a handful of sand and transports it outside using inventory. When it comes to himself, anything that enters his body can be transferred to the inventory. It is a divine art, the inventory of divine art. Eventually, someone comes into the stables. It's Hua, who wonders why her grandpa wants her to bring someone like him over at this hour, but he should follow. Bongsu does just that, everyone watching silently as he goes to Wu's room. After entering, Wu tells him to go up to the platform and sit cross-legged. Bongsu does just that, and Wu tells him to strip absolutely everything. Bongsu does so without hesitation, and Wu thinks it's good. His body structure is not bad. He takes out something from his clothes, the Dragon Phoenix Golden Needles. Hua asks what he is trying to do, but he simply slams the box down and asks Bongsu if he knows the saying, Jiulwa Weiji. It means that an orange grown in Huainan turns into a trifoliate orange when planted in the north. Bongsu understands, if Huainan is the Danri clan, then Huaibei is the Tang clan, and if the orange is Sosam, then the triofleate orange. Wu explains that from this moment forth, he will perform a great ritual on him. It will be extremely painful, probably enough to make him think that death is a better alternative, but if he survives, it will give him something beyond that, and also cure his muteness. Will he do it? Bongsu is amazed, but Hua stops him, as he can't just decide on such a grave matter without consulting the elders. Wu tells her something, his smile becoming wider and wider as he explains, and Bongsu seems to get it too. After talking Hua down, Wu asks if he is ready to receive the surname of the Tang clan. Bongsu's mind becomes more warped than before. What he's been vying for, the power to hunt even larger beasts, is held in this tiny golden box. Wu thinks that in the Murim, there are many terms for those born with exceptional aptitude for martial arts. Things like the heavenly meridian body, the 9th grade sacred bone, and the cosmic sacred bone. They are all hailed as rare talents, and said to appear only once in 1,000 or even 10,000 years. Rare talents, if one is simply born with them, are enough to leave a mark on the entire history of the Murim. However, the greatest aptitude among them is something he picked up for free, a talent that only appears once in 10 years, perhaps 10,000 years, but it doesn't even matter now. The brat he just grabbed possesses a body born for the first time in the history of the Murim, a body with absolutely no meridians. At first glance, he thought he was just an ordinary body that had never learned martial arts. However, his body actually lacked the acupoints and pathways that every human should have. There is nothing there. Nothing exists, as if he's not even human. However, having no path means whatever is made becomes the path. If he is raised properly, he might be able to restore the 10,000 flower rain, which has only survived in form for the last few hundred years. If that were to happen, the powers of the Murim will bow their heads before the name of the great Tang family, and their future will be secured for generations to come. Wu asks Bongsu again, does he intend to accept the surname of the Tang family? Bongsu just nods, and Wu is very pleased. He knows that he has not yet fully become a member of the Tang family, so he must go to the Tang family and prove before the elders and the family head that he is worthy of that surname. He may die in the process. He won't lie to him, but will he still do it? Seeing that deadly stalker look in his eyes, Wu knows he agrees. Now he will perform the Great Reformation ritual on him. He tells Hua to keep guard and goes behind Bongsu, raising all of the acupuncture needles in the air using his energy right below Bongsu. With that, he begins putting the first needle right in the middle of his head. Bongsu is amused. Previously, they thought that he could not hear them because they used sound transmission, but he knows how to read lips. To think the skill he learned to hunt prey in the past would have been so useful here. He heard about the body of no meridians, but how could he have something like that? The status window in the system, visible only to him surely. Because of that, he ended up with a strange body that is neither human nor character. If that's the case, he just needs to act the part. For now. Eventually, Wu feels all of his acupuncture points, making him look like a porcupine. He thinks that this is a body that will never be seen again in this world. Even though these are temporarily created acupoints, there is no blockage in the flow of qi and blood. In fact, his qi flows several times faster than that of ordinary martial artists. This is truly a great talent for the ages. However, he will need a contingency. He suddenly pulls out a box, and from within, a goo made from thousands of other goos. He picks it up gently on a stick and thinks that he cannot let others steal this precious body. He will insert this goo to prepare for any contingencies. This little worm has one job. If he cannot possess Bongsu, then he will tear him into shreds so that nobody else can either. With that, he begins removing the acupuncture needles from Bongsu until daylight rises. After the ritual is over, Wu explains that from now on, he is not of the Danri family, but a member of the Tang clan, the greatest family in Sichuan. His name will no longer be that of a horse handler. He is now Tang Sam. He shall name him as such. Bongsu acts normally, bowing his head, but as he says yes, a wicked grin permeates his mouth. Hua, who has fallen asleep at the door, doesn't even notice as Sam walks out. He makes a bit of distance from the room he was in, and then, using his inventory, gets the insect planted into him, right into his palm, and crushes it, leaving him with a wicked grin. The mute Sosam of the Danri family is now gone. Sam of the Sichuan family now lives with this. He will ascend to even higher planes. On a night with a full moon, a certain branch leader is having some fun with a woman, seemingly ignorant to the fact that there is an assassin right on top of them waiting to strike. The woman notices, however, and tells him as such, so the man gets out of the way before he can get attacked, leaving the woman to die. He can't believe this. This cannot be. Blood got on his silk robes from the west. This is the worst day ever. Does he have any idea how expensive these are? He is mad now and demands to know who the assassin is, but he says nothing. After all, he is no longer a man, just a weapon to be used. The assassin then uses a technique and crashes it over the branch leader. Suddenly, the branch leader pulls out one of his blades and crashes it into the assassin's attack. This makes his eyes widen, however, as unfortunately, he is weak as hell. He pushes the assassin away before spinning into him and slashing again and again. The assassin does manage to get out of the way of the blast, but the branch leader then unleashes 1,000 attacks at once, all flying through the air. The assassin, however, just concentrates his chi into his blade, and then begins whipping the flying attacks away from him, creating a permanent shield. The branch leader recognizes this technique as the ink light killing sword. He asks Mad Cloud if it's really been 10 years. The assassin, Mad Cloud, explains that it's been 9 years and 191 days actually. The branch leader laughs and sits down, noting that he definitely is Mad Cloud, seeing as he remembers such trivial things. What brings the 18th Cloud all the way here in person? Mad Cloud tells Ash Shadow that orders have come from higher up. The first stratagem has been crafted and is ready to be deployed. Hearing this, Ash basically quivers in anticipation and is very glad they are finally doing it. What about Shifting Shadow though? Mad Cloud explains that the 15th of this month is Shifting Shadow's wedding day, so they will do it in the Namgung clan. Ash is confused, waiting, but wait, is that a bastard really there? Getting married? And then what's the scope of this? Mad Cloud just nods knowingly, and as Ash taps his fingers again and again, he explains that everyone except Shifting Shadow and High. Ash continues tapping his finger on his armchair, and explains that the soul-chasing poison hand will arrive in Anhui soon. Their forces will not be enough. Mad Cloud says that the 5 shadows will go. If that is the case, well, It should be enough, right? Mad Cloud turns to leave, having delivered his orders, but Ash stops him as he asks what Shifting Shadow's name was again. Mad Cloud just glares at him before disappearing entirely, making Ash think that he is as unlikable as ever. He really is jealous though. He thought Shadows would live alone forever, but Shifting Shadow became a hero of the Orthodox faction, and even got the first beauty of Anhui as a bride, while he is rotting away in this damn gloomy place. He gets out into the hall, and with a snap of his fingers, summons one of his aides. He tells him to clean the room, and get rid of the filth on the bed too. Additionally, he will kill all the guards who are on duty today. The man simply accepts, and disappears once again. The branch leader looks on at his pavilion, which is the heavenly demon divine. He is the branch leader, the naked silver demon Paga Hyul. His expression is bored, like he is waiting for something, but suddenly he smiles, as now it really will begin, and there will be tons of fun to be had. Eventually, Wu's group and everyone else arrive at Anhui, with Wu surprised that they have arrived sooner than expected. Bongsu is glad that he is finally at the place where the Namgung clan reigns as masters, Anhui, much larger than he expected. Naturally, festivities are happening all around Anhui, and some beggars are at the doorstep of a pavilion begging for at least a lump of rice to share. The guard immediately tells them off, saying, "Do they have any idea what they're asking for? They should get lost before he has to deal with them." The beggars keep begging, noting that even just leftovers are good, but the guard just kicks them away. Suddenly, the young master arrives and asks what this commotion is. The guard tells him it's nothing to be worried about. Some beggars are at their doorstep, making the festivity look bad. After seeing him, the people around begin to talk. That is the star of this banquet, Duheo. He is very tall and handsome, just like the rumors, and besides that, he gives the beggars a hand, surprising even them. He tells the guard to share some food with these people as well. There is still some time left before the wedding, so there must be leftover food, and quite a large number at that. With that, he leaves, and the people keep talking. He is a rising star. That is a different breed indeed, to have such character along with his martial arts. He can see why the Namgung clan's daughter fell for him. The other man agrees to travel the Jianghu alone, and eventually defeat the yin-yang twin demons. That is a big feat. Who would have known that a young wanderer would defeat two demons who rampaged throughout the Jianghu for decades, and become the son-in-law of the Namgung clan? The first one to speak notes that there are rumors that the martial arts of the Thunderblade Emperor, the greatest under the heavens, 300 years ago, is what he used to defeat a demon. Suddenly, someone bumps into him, and the man certainly tells him to watch where he is going, but it is someone they immediately recognize as the soul-chasing Poison Hand, who simply pushes them aside, not caring to punish him now, and calling them all useless as he walks with his people. Immediately upon walking into the pavilion, he demands silence, and asks if they are saying he has come to this place when he should not have. If they have anything to say, they should say it to his face instead of scattering in the corner, as he can hear them all. Heo pleads with him to calm down, and introduces himself. Wu analyzes him. So he is the young man who made him come all this way. Huh, he is excellent. Rather excellent, but that is all. It would have been best if they met a while ago, but seeing him today is quite disappointing. Heo doesn't really know what he means, and Wu just walks past him, asking if Byok is inside. Heo confirms that the clan head is waiting inside, but wait, he will guide him to the king's hall. As they both enter, Bongsu just stares at them, but not really at them, as the system has announced that an enemy with a level difference of more than 10 levels has approached within 20 meters. There is a subtle gap between this Heo person and Wu, not to mention he is moving at a constant, steady pace without even stopping. If so, it means that this new high-level enemy is actually this guy. He analyzes him closely, thinking that every human has left-to-right asymmetry, face, length of limbs, height of shoulders, things like that. However, that guy is perfect, far too perfect. He is of the same species as him. He is hiding his body in a form different from his own. He is another predator. They all make their way to the Namgung clan king's hall, and Wu sees the swords of the past clan heads. He sulks. They call themselves kings and whatnot, looking down at people. But when they die, they'll just all be sleeping in a grave anyway. Heo tells him that he doesn't need to go inside. He can just go in and call Byok. But Wu tells him to forget it and climbs up, as that bastard must have been waiting as he said. Upon opening the door, Byok immediately rushes to him and welcomes him inside, calling him uncle. It has been a truly long time since they last saw each other. This wretched sight of a clan head running around without dignity is making his stomach churn, but then he smiles, noting that it's good to see him after such a long time. Hua looks on at this interaction. wondering if her grandfather and the clan head were always this close. Suddenly someone else comes. It's Hae, who tells Hua that it's been a while. Hua greets her too and notes that she has become far prettier, which Hae thanks her for and asks if she's been well. Heo also clears his throat, noting that he was flustered earlier and could not introduce himself properly, so he does so now. Hua introduces herself and asks if she can call him her brother-in-law. Hae immediately becomes flustered, but Heo just laughs, finding it rather amusing. Hua pushes further, noting that she never knew a shy person like Hae would get married before she does. As Hae recovers from the teasing, she suddenly spots Bongsu's figure at the door and asks who that person is. Before Hua can introduce him, Bongsu introduces himself as Tang Sam. Immediately, Heo goes to him and offers him a handshake, noting that it's nice to meet him. Bongsu knows what this is. It's either a complete feint of action or a test to see if he is a predator like he is. Bongsu takes his hand with a smile and shakes it sternly. After that, Heo suggests that tonight, since he was planning to go on a night outing to the Soho Lake with Hae, how about they all go together? Of course, that includes Sam as well, if he would want to come, of course. Sure enough, they all go to the lake at night, and Hua finds it beautiful, as the flowers color the water beautifully. Heo agrees this lake is famous for its breathtaking views. After all, the night view is especially stunning out of all of them. Hae thinks it's beautiful too, and Heo notes that, while the ladies are talking among themselves, why don't the men share a drink together? He'll fetch some good wine. With that, they go to a more secluded space. Bongsu thinks that, on the surface, Heo is the man who'll become the son-in-law of the Namgung clan, a good soul at heart. He's definitely a predator in disguise. A person of that caliber could surely plot something quite substantial. But when and why? He feels like he's unwillingly been caught in a massive unseen scheme. Suddenly, the system warns him that an enemy of over 10 levels is within 10 to 20 meters, but it's not Heo. The ship's length, after all, is 25 meters, and the height is around 5 meters. Then the enemy is right on the lower deck, as Heo comes with the wine, apologizing for taking so long since it was in a weird spot. Bongsu thinks that there's a new enemy aside from Heo, and they are in this very boat. Heo arrives with a drink next to him, noting that this is Gumaju. It's a bit strong, but it's a very precious wine. He is offering this especially to him. Before Bongsu can drink from it though, he explains that his stomach has been feeling unwell for a while, so may he be excused for a moment. Heo agrees, laughing, and tells him to ask the boatman where he needs to go, but gives him one long side look before leaving. Bongsu goes into the boat and counts the steps he has to take for the new enemy to be right below him. The distance to the enemy has definitely increased, but it's actually closing in again. It's not just 1, 2, or even 3. It's actually 4, including Heo. That's 5. There are currently 5 enemies on this ship who are over 10 levels higher than him. He steps outside, looking on, and thinks that if their goal was something like kidnapping Hae, they would have definitely done so already. Since that cannot be the case, it's highly likely that their target is actually the Namgung clan itself. He also does not know how large the gap between him and these enemies is. For 4 such people to secretly infiltrate the Namgung clan, it means that they are probably already overthrowing it as they speak. He is basically caught in between a rock and a hard place. By his side is Tang Wu, and ahead of him are the enemies of the Namgung clan. A truly nice dilemma which he will take joy in unraveling. As the boats keep flowing to the water, a few guards made their patrols, but one soldier asks their squad leader if they really have to do this. Isn't going all the way to the waterway a bit much? The squad leader grabs his head and asks how he dares to talk back to him. Is it that hard to just follow the waterway, check it, and then come back? The guard knows that he just finds it pointless, but the squad leader tells him to stop thinking. The wedding is coming soon. It would not be strange to check 2 or 3 times over, so they should go before he smashes their head in. As these men go inside, the squad leader calls them a bunch of slackers and waits outside. A true man should be on the battlefield, swinging as he cuts down his enemies' heads, but he has been given this squad leader position, which is extremely boring. If only some enemies showed up, it would be a lot more entertaining. As the 2 guards go in, one of them notes that the other guys are all eating well and drinking, but they are forced to go through these gutters like rats. He turns to ask the youngest guard what he thinks, but that's when Bongsu appears behind him and blows out his candle. Using the darkness, Bongsu immediately cuts one of them, cuts the youngest up using a meticulous strike, before rushing in. The only thing that can be seen or heard is him dashing through the water before he kills the other guard too, making 3 victims in the span of a few seconds. After a while, the squad leader gets bored, thinking that these guys are taking too long. Perhaps they are slacking off again. He grabs a torch too and goes inside, thinking that he will beat the daylights out of them if they are slacking. As he walks to the waterway though, he spots a floating arm and immediately recoils. He screams out for the others, calling for them, and reluctantly makes his way further inside, where he is met with a horrifying sight. All 3 people that he sent in, the guards, were really young and had their whole lives ahead of them. They are now strung up like puppets and made into an example of horror. Bongsu wonders where that hand went, since he needed it for the aesthetic, but then he notices the team leader and realizes he was just missing an arm. He will not throw away this opportunity either. Thank you for watching. See you next time.